5, 4, 3.
Good morning, Flowery Branch. I'm Carly Collette.
And I'm Elizabeth Derricott.
And you're tuned in to Beyond the Charter. With the quickly dropping oil prices, Wall Street could be in danger. The prices are at a 5-year low and may keep dropping. CBS's Jill Wagner brings market reactions.
I'm Jill Wagner on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We're keeping a close eye on the market this morning as plunging oil prices led to major losses yesterday. Crude oil is now trading at around $61 a barrel, a 5-year low, and it could keep dropping. Yesterday, OPEC slashed its estimates over how much crude it will need to produce next year. That's because global demand is down and there's plenty of supply in North America, especially here in the U.S. States like North Dakota and Texas are pumping out more domestic oil than we've seen in decades. In fact, ExxonMobil just said that by 2020, North America could become a net exporter of oil, producing more than it consumes. Could be bad news for Wall Street and some energy stocks, but it's great for American consumers. Prices at the gas pump are at 4-year lows, with the national average now $2.62 for a gallon of regular. If prices stay this low, Americans could save $100 billion in 2015. And it's not just drivers who could see savings. Low fuel costs mean record profits for airlines, which finally could be passing on those savings to travelers. The International Air Transport Association expects ticket prices to drop 5% in.
The House is in a holding pattern as Congress struggles to pass a massive spending package ahead of the midnight deadline to avert government shutdown.
On this vote, the yeas are 219, the nays are 206. The motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. For what purpose does the gentleman from Maryland rise?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to speak out of order for 1 minute.
Is there objection? Without objection, so ordered. House will be in order. The House will be in order. Gentleman from Maryland.
Mr. Speaker, we have one more vote. That will be the last time that John Dingell votes in this House after 59 years. A great servant of our country.
Let me thank my colleague for yielding. Let me add my words of congratulations to our good friend John Dingell, who's been a mentor to members on both sides of the aisle and has carried more institutional history than anyone here. My job tonight is to say thank you and Merry Christmas.
Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back the balance of his time.
Security at airports may be a hassle now, but just wait on the future. CNN's Richard Quest explores what's in store.
For the 3 billion airline passengers a year, the airport experience is anything but pleasant. Long lines, intrusive security checks, iffy food. What has to change? The airline journey of tomorrow will be governed by 2 philosophies. Know your passenger and do it yourself. At the average American airport, around 150 people pass through security each hour. Before 9/11, that number was as high as 350. If we're going to handle the demands of the future, security lines must get faster. The biggest revolution has been here in security with the introduction of TSA PreCheck, which separates the known passengers who are perceived to be lower risk from everybody else. 5 years from now, you won't hand your ID to an agent. Instead, your fingerprint, your eye, your biometric details, they'll be your key through security. Scanners will automatically adjust their sensitivity based on your level of risk. And passengers will be able to keep on their shoes and coats. And the laptops, they'll stay in your bag. The future is all about doing it yourself, from booking online to checking in on the app to having your boarding pass on your smartphone. You'll tag your bag at home and just drop it off at the airport. The idea should be from the moment you arrive at the front to the moment you leave at the back, you perhaps never speak to anyone until you hear those magic words. Welcome on board, Mr. Quest.
Don't go anywhere. When we return, a time capsule is uncovered in Boston.
They say our generation doesn't know who they are, but
A crew is at work in Boston unearthing a time capsule believed to be buried by patriots Samuel Adams and Paul Revere.
Of the State House was this morning carefully removed. A time capsule was originally buried beneath the cornerstone in 1795 when Sam Adams was governor. The time capsule was repackaged in 1855 when the original cowhide container had deteriorated. The Museum of Fine Arts will reveal the artifacts once the capsule is opened.
We have a list going back to the original 1795. We have coins, we have Paul Revere plate, we have a number of things. The question is, what condition are they in? Obviously, in 1855, when Governor Gardner presided over this ceremony, they were still there, but that's a long time ago.
The cornerstone was discovered as part of work to fix a water leak at the State House. Secretary of State William Galvin held up a piece of plaster that was around the historic box. The good condition of the plaster is encouraging, but everyone is waiting to know how the time capsule contents held up over time.
We know that in 1855, when it was restored, there was a very humid day. We also have some notes that indicate they washed some of the contents in acid, which is, of course, a concern. So we don't know how much has deteriorated over the period of time that's elapsed since that time.
A fisherman went missing for 2 weeks off of Oahu's coast, completely in danger of sinking. Coast Guard called off the search after 4 days, but the man was still found and in well enough condition to make a joke or two. Aaron Burnett provides the story.
He had died at sea, but after nearly 2 weeks in rough seas, fisherman Ron Ingram is clearly alive and well enough to crack jokes.
I was out of water, but I hydrated on fish. I'm a fisherman, so I caught fish, and that's what wasn't as good as a sushi bar, but that's how I hydrated.
A true fisherman's tale that could have ended in disaster. On Thanksgiving Day, he made this call for help as his 25-foot sailboat was taking on water.
This is Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I'm in the middle of Alinui Channel. Small boat, danger of sinking.
He says currents sucked his boat 200 miles away from where he was trying to go in the waters off the Hawaiian island of Oahu.
I tried all through the night. Weather came up. I couldn't make it. I was going backwards all night long.
After 4 days, the Coast Guard called off the search for the boat. They simply couldn't find it. That's when Ingram's son Zachary got a call from the Coast Guard telling him his dad was missing.
I was crushed like, anybody would normally feel after they find out their dad's probably gone.
Miraculously, after 12 days at sea, a Navy ship found the 67-year-old and his boat after the Coast Guard heard a short mayday call from Ingram, and his son received yet another call from the Coast Guard.
they said, "We found your dad," and I had this image of somebody floating with a life vest around him that, you know, wasn't alive. And I says, "Well, okay, you know, was he with his fishing boat when you found him?" They says, "Oh no, we found him and his boat. He's alive and he's well." So, yeah, it was awesome.
Found dehydrated and desperate for food, and still, Ingram refused to leave without his boat. He not only uses his boat to make a living, but it's also his home. So the Coast Guard towed it back to shore. Ingram gets his battered boat, and Zachary gets his dad.
Best Christmas present ever.
Now, Aaron, get this. Zachary hadn't actually talked to his father in about 20 years. The two had lost touch. His dad doesn't have email. And so he was extremely worried that this phone call from the Coast Guard would be the call he never wanted to get. And he said, this is a lesson. Make sure you stay in touch with your family because you never know when they might be gone.
A California highway standoff ended Tuesday when a SWAT team surrounded and arrested a father being sought out in an Amber Alert along with his 4 missing children. Police Department Captain Luis Lopez told us reports.
4 little boys are freed in a dramatic rescue today. These brothers, ages 6 to 11, disappeared along with their parents nearly a week ago. And now we know who's been arrested in this case. Their father, 43-year-old Daniel Perez of California. And I just have to show you this video here because you can see these 2 young boys being escorted by officers to safety, holding their hands here moments before they ran from the car straight into the officers' arms. You had SWAT teams surrounding the father's car. This is about 30 miles from Mexico. At this point, 2 more boys are still trapped in the car, but then moments later, the dad steps out. Here he is in the blue shirt. 2 more little boys, there they are, with him, following almost out of the car, and suddenly makes this lunge, there he goes, toward police. Look at them all swarming in, surrounding him. I can tell you, thank goodness, those 4 boys are safe. As far as the mother, though, Erica Perez, police say the mother is considered missing. Just yesterday, police found a woman's body in the trunk of an abandoned Perez family car. Police are not confirming the identity of the body at this time.
When we return, we'll fill you in on the latest health trend, charcoal.
Charcoal seems to be the latest health trend. The activated charcoal helps to rid your body of toxins, unclog pores, and even whiten teeth. ABC's Abby Boudreau has more details.
Charcoal, not just for barbecues or the stockings of naughty boys and girls anymore. No, in this case, charcoal is a very good thing. In fact, one of the trendiest health ingredients out there right now. ABC's Abby Boudreau has all the details.
When you think of charcoal, backyard barbecues probably come to mind. Not toothpaste and facials, activated charcoal. Not the flammable kind you use on the grill, but the medicinal kind is now the new IT ingredient, promising to rid your body of toxins, unclog your pores, and whiten your teeth.
No one likes a new beauty product with a new IT ingredient like Hollywood. So Gwyneth Paltrow, Shailene Woodley, everyone is putting it into all sorts of products, a lot of beauty products.
Even adding it to juice cleanses.
I give it a really good shake.
Juice served here is one of the first to sell charcoal lemonade.
Everyone was like, what is this black juice? Like charcoal. I didn't know that you could drink charcoal.
She says the charcoal acts as a magnet, ridding your body of toxins.
It has a little crunch, but it tastes really good.
But does it work?
It may be drawing out toxins, but is it also drawing out medications and nutrients as well?
Though Dr. Ashton does say using it on top of your skin may be worth a try.
As long as it's not done to excess, for the most part, it's safe.
Like these soaps and charcoal facials at Lush in Santa Monica, each less than $15.
So you're saying you're going to put this on my face?
Yes.
Charcoal is going to exfoliate and deeply detoxify.
This is definitely something you do in the privacy of your own bathroom.
But it really did leave my skin feeling soft and smooth. And when it comes to whitening your teeth,
I hope this doesn't stain my teeth.
trust me,
Not bad.
a little goes a long way. For Good Morning America, Abby Boudreau, ABC News, Los Angeles.
CIA Director John Brennan on Thursday defended harsh interrogation techniques as providing useful information to authorities, including the raid that led to the death of Osama bin Laden. But he said it is unknowable what information could be specifically attributed to those techniques.
The CIA director today defended his agency in an unprecedented press conference.
The detention and interrogation program produced useful intelligence that helped the United States thwart attack plans, capture terrorists, and save lives.
But with a strong caveat on those enhanced interrogation techniques, or EITs, now better aligned with what the White House has been saying.
Let me be clear. We have not concluded that it was the use of EITs within that program that allowed us to obtain useful information from detainees subjected to them. The cause and effect relationship between the use of EITs and useful information subsequently provided by the detainee is, in my view, unknowable.
John Brennan admitted the CIA made mistakes.
I cannot say with certainty whether or not individuals acted with complete honesty.
But he would not call it torture. Brennan was CIA deputy director during the Bush administration when these techniques were used. Waterboarding, beatings, conditions so brutal, one detainee apparently froze to death. Others kept awake for days, forced to stand on broken legs. Rectal feedings. During his confirmation hearing last year, Brennan suggested he didn't know fully what was going on back then.
Many things that I read in that report that were very concerning and disturbing to me.
Now, Democratic Senator Mark Udall has called for Brennan to resign. President Obama has made strong statements against these practices.
That's not who we are. That's not how we operate.
The White House emphatic that torture undermines America's moral authority and standing in the world. Yet Brennan and FBI Director James Comey, who was President Bush's deputy attorney general, remain in this administration.
How does it not undermine our moral authority to keep people on who were involved during that era?
Those individuals who are serving the President of the United States right now are not engaged and are not supporting a policy of enhanced interrogation techniques. And the reason they're not doing that is because the President unequivocally banned it on his second full day in office. I suppose if those individuals didn't agree with that policy, they wouldn't be serving the President.
ISIS may be prepared, but so is the U.S. However, the strategies in this military fight are bringing new concerns. Fox's Jennifer Griffin has word from retired General John Allen.
To defeat ISIS, as we get an update on our military strategy from retired General John Allen, the special presidential envoy for the global coalition to counter that terror group. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin live at the Pentagon now with that. Jennifer.
John, 6 months ago today, Mosul fell, and the U.S. turned its attention to ISIS. Here's how retired General John Allen, who is spearheading the State Department's strategy, describes ISIS.
Sometimes people become desensitized to how horrendous this organization truly is and what it has done to the people that it has conquered and what it is prepared to do to the other people that it is prepared to conquer.
It's been 3 months since the president stated in a primetime address that a major part of the strategy to defeat ISIS would be to vet, train, and equip moderate Syrian forces on the ground. But State Department officials this week admit that vetting process has yet to begin. In fact, the U.S. government has halted arms shipments to the so-called Free Syrian Army because some U.S. weapons are falling into the hands of ISIS and al-Qaeda.
You can't tell me politically whether we have vetted, armed, and trained anybody yet and sent them back to Syria to fight ISIS. You can't give that answer.
I think I did answer it. The answer right now is no. And it was designed to be a long-term program.
You wait a minute. I'm asking the questions. You give the answer.
U.S. airstrikes may be damaging the moderate rebels more than they are halting ISIS, critics say. A new study published by Jane's Defense suggests the U.S.-led airstrikes have allowed ISIS and Assad to consolidate power. They have stopped targeting each other. ISIS is focused on eliminating the very moderate opposition groups the U.S. hopes to eventually train and equip. Out of more than 900 operations, Assad has targeted ISIS only 6% of the time. Syria, meanwhile, is letting U.S. warplanes deal with ISIS, while it too targets the moderate Syrian opposition that the U.S. hopes will serve as its ground troops. John.
What a mess. Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Jennifer, thank you.
A resolution authorizing the use of force against ISIS in Iraq and Syria was passed out of the Foreign Relations Committee at a meeting Thursday. The vote went exactly along party lines.
During my time here, I think we got some things right. We certainly wound up wishing we'd done some things differently. But I think most of us would agree, and I saw it during both parties' chairmanships, including the years that Senator Lugar and I were here, that this committee works best and makes the greatest contribution to our foreign policy in our country when it addresses the most important issues in a strong, bipartisan fashion. And this is one of those issues. The chairman and the ranking member have both said that. This is one of those moments when a bipartisan approach really is critical. As you know, the President is committed to engaging with the committee and all of your colleagues in the House and Senate regarding a new authorization for use of military force, as we call it in short, the AUMF, specifically against the terrorist group known as ISIL, though in the region it is called Daesh, and specifically because they believe very deeply it is not a state and it does not represent Islam. So we are looking for this authorization with respect to efforts against Daesh and affiliated groups. We certainly won't resolve everything and get there this afternoon, the next few hours. But I do think this discussion is important. And I think we all agree that this discussion has to conclude with a bipartisan vote that makes clear that this is not one party's fight against Daesh, but rather that it reflects our united determination to degrade and ultimately defeat Daesh. And the world needs to understand that from the United States Congress above all. Our coalition partners need to know that from all of you. And the men and women of our armed forces deserve to know it from all of you. And Daesh's cadre of killers and rapists and bigots need to absolutely understand it clearly. That's why this matters. Now, toward that end, we ask you now to work closely with us on a bipartisan basis to develop language that provides a clear signal of support for our ongoing military operations against Daesh. Our position on the text is really pretty straightforward. The authorization, or AUMF, should give the President the clear mandate and flexibility he needs to successfully prosecute the armed conflict against Daesh and affiliated forces, but the authorization should also be limited and specific to the threat posed by that group and by forces associated with it.
Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Charter. That's all for today. Follow us on social media at Beyond the Charter for updates.
And drop us an email about a story from around the country you'd like to see us bring to the branch at wfb.info@gmail.com. Subject #BeyondTheCharter.
We will leave you this awesome video all about making someone's day.
Until tomorrow, I'm Elizabeth Ericott.
And I'm Carly Collette.
Have a great weekend, Falcons.
Traffic stop. And you can find out a lot about that person in that 10 to 15 minute window, whether they're having a good day, a bad day, or a horrible day. And then we got this idea, what if we could change that person's day in real time? What if we could change that person's day right now?
Got all your Christmas shopping done?
No, I haven't even started. Yeah, she wants like Lego Friends. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
Oh yeah, my daughter loves Lego Friends. They're great.
Lego what? Friends? Daughter wants Lego Friends? Okay.
Go.
We got 3.
Any other kids or just the one?
I got another one. Yeah, I got a son.
What does he want?
Well, you know, He's only 5.
Yeah.
So he has all these things that he wants that are unrealistic. Like I'm not going to be able to get.
Like what?
This electric scooter.
Something like this?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, you want to open up the back seat of your trunk?
Was I really getting pulled over?
Yeah, you got pulled over. You got illegal tinted windows.
Oh my God, she just put that on her list.
And
We
the
just went through and did the list.
and the high school.
Oh my God.
Pretty
No
awesome.
way. Oh my God, can I hug you? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So am I getting it? I'm not getting a ticket, right?
I can give you one if you want.
No.
Yeah, if you open it, right?
What?
Have you tried those?
No.
Will those maybe fit?
Exactly what I was hoping for when I said that.
This is
What the heck?
insane.
You can have that.
And there's some there for you too, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my God, you're kidding me. Ah, I want to hug you. That is so great. Thank you.
Something your little boy might like?
This just turned my bad day into a good one.
What?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No, it just fell off the back of a truck. You know, you didn't see the guy in the red sleigh? Sorry, the wrap job isn't perfect, you know. It's a little windy out. Huh? Well, we got radios and sleighs and magic elves and stuff. The Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's what your kids want.
Yeah.
That's the go-to present for your kid.
Yeah, but it's all that they're not gonna have it.
Go, go, go. Let's go. See the car. See the car.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The kids gonna love this.
How about you? Huh? I'm looking at maybe a new TV.
We were talking about that for the room for our bedroom because foosball here knocked our LCD over.
Oh yeah?
And it cracked the entire thing.
So you need a new TV, huh?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Something like this?
Yeah, something's very similar to that.
Alrighty. Well, open up your door, boss.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Huh? Merry Christmas. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Man, that's sure nice of you. I mean, I've been pulled over by police officers before and they've always been good to me, but never this good.
We're live in 5, 4,